駆り立てた。
俺の財宝か？欲しけりゃくれてやる。探せ。この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた。
男たちはグランドラインを目指し夢を追い続ける。世はまさに大海賊時代。
ありつけの夢をかき集め、探し物を探しに行くのさ。ワンピース。羅針盤なんて渋滞のもと、熱に浮かされ漢字を問うのさ。誇りかぶってた宝の地図も確かめたのなら伝説じゃない。個人的な嵐は誰かのファンをリズム乗っかって思い過ごせばいい。ありったけの夢をかき集め、探し物を探しに行くのさ。ポケットの恋、それと You wanna be my friend. We are on the groove. We are
Welcome, chat. We are here. One Peak. We are on the cruise to chapter 1170. Chat, how are we doing, chat? One Piece Loki art. Get me some good Loki art to put on the screen. Can't have the chapter on screen. Find me some good One Piece Loki art, chat. I'll have Loki on the screen. Chat, how are we doing? I hope no distractions. I hope for once we could stream and have a reaction and just not be distracted, guys. How are we doing? God bless everybody. Did you read spoilers? I did. I haven't read the chapter though. I haven't seen the panels. I think I've seen one panel. That's it. How's it going, chat? How's it going? I just hopped out the shower, so the hair's kind of a mess. But this is not a fashion stream. We are not here for any of that. How we doing though, guys? Hope everyone's having a nice morning, day, or night wherever you guys are. Chat. God bless each and every one of you. Hope you guys have been doing great, guys. Hope it was a nice Christmas. Hope you guys are excited for the new year. What are your guys' plans, chat? Are you guys going out of town? Are you guys traveling? What do you guys got going on? I'm trying to find some Loki art on Google, and I can't find any Loki art that looks cool. Like 90% of the art that I'm seeing is him chained up to the tree with like the same exact panel over and over. Who has some good One Piece art? How we doing, chat? I really want to find some art. Whatever. I'm just going to choose this one. I see this art on Google. Let me just choose this one. The year 2026 will be the year of transhumanism. Look at Metropolis. I don't know what Metropolis is. What is that? But I hope not. Transhumanism is awful, bro. Transhumanism is not the wave. It is not the way to go. It is not the answer, bro. Only the Antichrist wants to bring in transhumanism, or the people that are easily fooled, the gullible people. That's what I think. I think it's either the Antichrist or people who are gullible. Those are the ones that want to push transhumanism. Those are the ones that want to put the microchips in the brains, and they're going to say things like, oh, well, Johan, honestly, dude, if we just put a microchip in people's brains, if we just tracked everyone's thoughts and we had control over people's ways of thinking, well, then we could lower the crime. Come on, Johan, I thought you were a good person. That's what they're going to say. That's going to be their argument. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. That's what their argument's going to be. They're going to tell you, like, oh, well, we need to have like X, Y, and Z security measure to prevent ABC crime. But in reality, these security measures are going to be manipulated by the people in power, the people who seek to earn and steal more and more and more and more. But chat, how are we doing, guys? How we doing? You guys want to react to 1170 or what? You guys ready to react? You guys ready to get some content? What time is it in the US? Is everyone asleep or what? I did not just wake up. I just got out the shower, but I am kind of sleepy. I am pretty tired. I am kind of sleepy. I won't lie. I took a nap earlier today, but I don't think it was for very long. I never read spoilers, but when I read it, it was fire. Or when I read it, it was fire. Yeah, it was pretty good. Dean's Life. God bless, bro. How you doing, my boy? How we doing, Big Deans? Hey, chat. I think the D clan stands for Deans. I think it's Monkey Deans Luffy. The other day, God bless Gingish. The other day, I somehow drew a parallel to how Viking nations were forced to become Christian to One Piece, but I forgot it. Dang, bro, Vikings were around at that time? I actually didn't even consider that. Also, I know that a lot of the pagans, a lot of the Norse pagans, they willingly converted to Christianity. So, like, now on social media, especially Twitter, I'll see, like, a lot of posts where people are like, oh, we need to go back to our roots, bro. Yo, my hair's a mess. They'll say, like, oh, man, we need to go back to our roots, man. We're Scandinavians, bro. We were pagans. We was pagans, bro. And, like, they push this agenda that, like, white people should be pagans, essentially. Like, go back to their Viking kind of lifestyle. But if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the Vikings, if not the majority of the Vikings and, like, the pagans at that time, they willingly became Christian. Same thing with, like, women, like, thousands of years ago. It was, like, the same case where women celebrated Christianity because they finally had a means to gaining rights. There's a Celtic cross that resembles Christianity. The Christianity we know is inspired by Viking Christianity and blah, 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 blah. You have no idea what you're talking about, bro. I promise you, Jesus Christ being born in Judea in AD 0 has nothing to do with Vikings, bro. That has nothing to do with anything. The people of Judea, the people in the Middle East, they were awaiting a Messiah. Like, bro, literally in the Old Testament, was it to Jacob? I think it was to Jacob in the Old Testament. We're talking thousands of years before Jesus was born. God promised the Messiah to the Jewish people. And when I say the Jewish people, I mean the people who followed God, the tribe of Judah, or the tribe of Jacob, not Ashkenazi Jew. But that has nothing to do with Vikings. Like, when people say things like this, it's just like, I'm just at a loss for words. I'm saying there's a Scandinavian Viking propaganda campaign going on with Germany during the Protestant era. Yeah, Scandinavian Vikings have nothing to do with the faith. Like, I don't even know why anyone would try to, like, say that or argue that. I feel like that's just, like, the people that, like, they just want to argue against Christianity. They just want to, like, debate it and, like, debunk it because, like, they have, like, a mean grandpa or something. Like, their grandpa's really mean and he's, like, a Protestant. And, like, people are just like, oh, man, Christianity is so dumb, bro. Look at my grandpa. So then they start making, like, these erroneous arguments. Especially, like, people who are of the Jewish persuasion, not accepting the Messiah. I think, like, all their arguments are really just cope. I think, honestly, bro, I'm not even gonna lie, I think it's just cope, bro. Like, even to the point where they'll argue things to where it doesn't even make sense. So, for an example, I think it's in Psalms, there's the verse where it says, they pierced my hands and my feet, which is obviously pointing to Christ, right? But if you're not of the Christian persuasion, you would probably try to argue something like, no, it's actually lions, my hands and my feet. The Christians, they mistranslated that word ka'as. They made it ka'is or something like that, which changes the word lion into pierced. The Christians, they just want to manipulate everyone into believing that Christianity is true. Come to find out, guys, the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered, and this was like a huge monumental discovery for historians in general, just even atheists, just historians in general. Come to find out, even the Dead Sea Scrolls renders that word as pierced. So even the history is on the side of pierced my hands and my feet versus lion my hands and my feet. That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, now I remember. So my idea was to parallel Jerusalem and Marijoa, that giants of One Piece consider the Red Line a holy land of the gods, so they can't destroy it. Same thing with Israel. Oh yeah. So you mean the parallel is Israel and Marijoa? That's what you mean to say, not Jerusalem per se. I think that's what you mean to say. You know, the thing is, Gingish. So what's interesting is, like, depending on who you talk to, right, they will have different understandings of what Israel is. You go ask one person, what is Israel? They think it's a piece of land in the Middle East. You ask another person, what is Israel? They'll tell you that Israel is the royal priesthood, the holy nation of God, not a piece of land. During the Cold War, there were Christians and Scandinavians who embraced the New Age movement and originated there, bro. I don't think you can. I think you should just jump ship, to be honest. I don't think like you can like be New Age and Christian. I don't think that'll work, because there's core fundamentals to New Ageism that do not work with the Christian faith. I feel like you might as well just like drop one and pick up the other. Like, you can't really have both, because they, at a fundamental level, they contradict each other. It would be like saying, like, I am a square with three corners. Like, that doesn't work. Like, at a fundamental level, it's not coherent, essentially. So yeah, John Lennon claimed to be both. Yeah, I don't know about that, dude, because when it comes to Christianity, when it comes to being Christian, I don't think there is some arbitrary I don't think there's some arbitrary thing of what makes someone a Christian. I don't think it's like, oh, to be Christian you have to be white. No. To be Christian you have to believe that Jesus is a special person. No. Like, I think a lot of people, they have like this arbitrary standard for what makes someone a Christian. I don't agree with that. I believe that I believe that someone's a Christian when they're in Christ's church, when they're in the physical body, when they're in the body of Christ, holding to what the body of Christ is teaching from divine revelation. I think that's what makes someone a Christian. So with that type of understanding, right, with that type of theology and ecclesiology, essentially you can't be a Christian and then New Age at the same time. That's not possible. Those two things contradict each other. It's not possible unless you say, well, no, I get to decide what makes someone a Christian, and then you choose like something completely random, something completely arbitrary. That way you can pretty much utilize the flag of I'm a Christian, but you're not really like in continuity with the church. You're not really in continuity with the Holy Fathers. Yeah, that's how my brain operates. So, I mean, everyone's different. There were some authors who have transformed Jesus into Odin for years. I don't know if you've seen that. It's the same with Dionysus having the appearance of Jesus. Yes, the throne of Emu is the throne of Solomon. Both are red. The Vatican and King Louis XIV took it over. I'm saying that the U.S. protects Israel because they are deluded about it being a holy land. Same with the One Piece giants. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I don't believe that Israel is a piece of land. In fact, that makes no sense at all. That literally makes no sense, especially when you read Isaiah 53 and how it talks about the suffering servant. How can the suffering servant be Israel as a group of people? Like, how is Israel like that group of people rejecting Christ and then becoming a piece of land, when it says like that's supposed to be the suffering servant, when that same people were disobeying God in the first place, it would have to be the suffering servant would have to be someone of no blemishes, same as the sacrifices from the Old Testament. They would bring the lamb with no blemishes before God because that was something sufficient and worthy. So when you look at the cope, right, when you look at the cope from the Jays, right, to push the Israel agenda, to push the Antichrist agenda, I mean, it's literally Antichrist. Their argument makes no sense. The suffering servant has to be someone without blemish. It has to be an individual. It can't be a group of people, especially that group of people. It makes no sense. So when Moses and God and Jacob and when these important figures we see in the Old Testament get called or get told that they're going to be a royal priesthood and a holy nation, that holy nation never ended. That royal priesthood never ended. It is the fulfillment of that essentially is the church that Christ established in AD 33. Especially what we see in Acts, them having a council. They literally had a council to say whether or not if Christians need to be baptized, if Christians need to be circumcised. The Council of Jerusalem. Like that right there is the royal priesthood. That right there is the holy nation. That right there is the church. That right there is Israel. It's new Israel. Not a piece of land. Which, by the way, like, I don't want to keep going on and on and on about this, but Gingish, it's insane because how would someone say, like, yeah, I love Jesus. Like, he's awesome. Like, that's my God. But then you would argue that a secular land is his people, and that the secular land, the land, like the grass and dirt itself, is his people. That doesn't even make sense. A piece of dirt is not a person, for one. And then for two, it's meant for the people rejecting your God. You see how that makes absolutely no sense? And honestly, it's sad. It's sad because these people, they're under delusion, bro. They're under delusion, and we got to learn how to be patient with these people. We got to pray for them. We got to help them. You know, we really have to help them because it's literally delusion, bro. It's like if you had like a close friend, you had like a really good friend, you know, they were there for you when you had breakups. They were there for you when your parent died or something. You have a really good friend, but your friend is trying to convince you that 1 + 1 = 6. Like, you know, deep down inside that your friend is under delusion. Like, you know, deep down inside what he's saying is not true. It does not make any sense. That type of thing applies to this conversation we're having, you know? But anyways, chat, let's get started with the chapter. One Piece 1170. We got Jinbei on the cover. We got Laboon on the cover. We got Robin on the cover. We got Luffy. Is that Nami's, like the back of Nami's head? Chopper, Sanji, Zoro, Usopp with his fat nose. The Hammers sneak attack. All right. Oh, by the way, we see the D-Clan crest in the background, baby. D-Clan crest in the background. Who sees it? Who sees it? In the first page of 1170, D-Clan crest in the background. Who sees it? It's literally in the first panel of chapter 1170. D-Clan crest. Yo, ever since I put out that video with Dawn of Ascension, we've been seeing it repeatedly. Like, more frequently than before. Reaction to the new anime episode? Bro, I'm reacting to the manga chapter right now. And honestly, I don't even care about the anime. I haven't followed it in a long time. I want to know the most up-to-date information, bro. I'm not like interested in like, bro, did you see the flashy colors last episode? No, I didn't see the flashy colors next episode. Bro, tell me what's going on with Loki. Bro, tell me what's going on with Emu, Davy Jones. You know, I'm not interested in like the red and blue color on screen. The cool music. I'm not hating on people that do care about that and people that do like that. Hey, to each their own. If people are into that, there's nothing wrong with that. But me, myself, like, I don't really care for that. A circle with sun rays coming out. Circle with sun rays coming out? I guess that's like one way of looking at it. like the center of the crest is the sun, and then it's like boom, bright lights, light rays, sun rays. Yeah, actually, I don't think I've looked at it like that before. Gingish, I need your creativity with me, bro. I need your level of creativity. I never looked at it like that. I mean, it would make sense because like one of the core pieces to the One Piece narrative is that there's a sun god and he's like savior of the world and he's gonna come back, right? He's a promised guy who's gonna come back to save the world. So essentially, he's the Messiah, right? Also, people worship him in churches as pastors praying to a cross. If this is the core of the story, then I guess it would make sense that the crest that we repeatedly see, especially from islands and nations, lands that are probably related to the sun god, related to Jobo in some sense, it would make sense that this crest is a sun with its rays. And maybe the sun casted its rays on like the empire. Maybe there was a free empire, a sun empire, the empire of the sun. It was made up of all these different groups of people, these different lands. The Sun Empire had Fishman Island, it had Elbaf, it had Wano, it had Skypiea. And each one of these lands is like a sun ray. You know, it originated, like its existence it comes from the sun. Its glory comes from the sun. It comes from Nika. Does that make sense? Gingish, am I on drugs or what? It's going to look like Dressrosa and Fishman Island. It's going to be beautiful, bro. Where is the credit? On the right or on the left? Wait, what do you mean on the right or on the left? What are you talking about? Saturn death this episode? Jesus is Loki, a sun god? I think he's the only son of God. All right, anyways. Loki's angry. Bastard, who threw that hammer? Come on out. There's got to be someone here. Whatever. I don't have to eat the whatever. I have to eat the devil fruit, okay? Chitter, chitter. Chitter, squeak, squeak, crack, crack. Huh? The hammer. Loki's running. Did it like pass him? I'm confused. It looks like the hammer's behind Loki, but then he's running and it's on his side. Whoa, you got to be kidding me. There's no way it's that heavy. The hell is going on? Is this decrepit old castle just falling apart? Slam. Your efforts are futile, Loki. Generations of rulers have watched over that devil fruit. Yet for centuries, it has gone uneaten. Not by choice, but because no one can eat it. Ragnir simply hasn't, deemed anyone worthy. Oh, so Ragnir really is defending the fruit. He really is defending the fruit. Man, I remember like there were people in chat, maybe they're here right now, they were hypothesizing that. We were questioning like, is Ragnir defending the fruit? Is it not? Does Ragnir have a fruit? Does it not? We had so many ideas being thrown around. Chat, I'm sleepy, man. Ragnir simply hasn't deemed anyone worthy. But with my current strength... Wait, what's going on? I see an axe and a sword, and then I see... Oh, is that Shanks? Shanks in Gabon? Is that Shanks in Gabon? Those wounds are already causing him a lot of pain. His healing abilities are struggling to keep up. Don't let up, and he'll eventually be driven into a corner. Folks like him are weak to Conquer's hockey coding. Come on! You dare oppose me? Kra! You bet we can't let you run wild just because you've gone crazy. Gabon-san. Why do they say Gabon instead of Gabon? Can someone tell me that? Why do they, every time I read these chapters, it says Gabon? Why isn't it Gabon? Is it are the official chapters doing that as well? Or is it just the TCB, the OP scans? Hold on, let me look at Viz. Is Viz making it say Gabon as well? Or is it just Gabon, like normal? I'm looking at 1169 and Shanks doesn't even say his name. Chat, do the officials say Gabon or Gabon? Probably more friendly. Sun Goku, Sun Wukong. Have you seen Dawn and Dusk's theory that Elbaf is the Emerald City linked to Shandor via the Holy Night City? No, I haven't seen it. I haven't watched a One Piece theory and I don't even know, dude. I know a very long time. I do remember people connecting Elbaf to Emerald City because if you look at the this was a thing even I mentioned like years ago. If you look at actually no, it wasn't Elbaf, it was God Valley. We were connecting God Valley to Emerald City because in Alice in Wonderland? Whichever no, it's not Alice in Wonderland, it's the other one. Whatever that movie is. When they are walking on the road to Emerald City, the shape of the city from like the outside on the road is the same shape as God Valley. So I actually do remember people connecting or hypothesizing that God Valley is related to Emerald City. But no, actually, I never heard Elbaf was connected to Emerald City. That's a first. Eric, God bless, bro. Wizard of Oz. Yeah, thank you. Scapa Gabon is called Gabon in Japanese because it's the phonetic spelling of his name in katakana. Wait, so his actual name is Gabon. Romanized name Sukopa Gabon. Official English name Scopper Gabon. So is his name Gabon or Gabon? I'm confused. Gabon-san, you're familiar with the weaknesses of the Knights of God? I can't remember how many times they tried to take you back. That red-haired boy, we know you have him. He looks just like our captain's son. Hand him over. Back then, I'd slice him up and we'd send him packing. Oh yeah, that Summers guy did mention something like that. Those were the days. Frankly, it's surprising that a fighting force like that originates from the Holy Land. Most celestial dragons are useless. Those guys consider themselves divine, living sedentary lives and keeping well clear of our world. Meanwhile, my life's always giving me the chills. You could call that fate. Gabon-san, I want to save Harold. But you're the one who told me how hopeless it is once someone becomes a knight of God. I'm afraid Loki's our best bet. Yeah, Loki is stronger than you two combined. Yo, shouts out to that boy Loki. God bless it, Echo. Ragnar is stronger than Sanji. Yo, don't let Sanji fans hear that. They hate facts. Sanji fan, there's nothing Sanji fans hate more than the truth. I'm telling you. You wanna upset a Sanji fan? Just say the truth, and then they get very mad. Sanji flirted with minors as an adult. See, they get mad. Zoro's obviously stronger than Sanji. See, they get mad. Bro, they just don't like hearing the truth. I think Sanji fans hate the truth. I'm a cook IRL, so I feel my boy Sanji. Yo, why not Zeph? What's wrong with Zeph? Aren't there like chefs in the Big Mom Pirates as well? I don't think Sanji's the only chef in One Piece. All right, anyways. Don't make me repeat myself. Move it, Hammer. So you're basically the National Treasure's guardian? How can you even move? Yeah, I love how One Piece always uses this idea of a national treasure. In Wano, they said Nami was the national treasure. They said Hiyori was the national treasure. There's supposed to be a national treasure of Marijoa. Now, the devil fruit of Elbaf is a national treasure. I'm pretty sure there's actually more in One Piece. How can you even move? What's going on? I am so over this. He shattered his hammer. God, my hammer. Yo, you're about to get an upgrade. Don't even worry, bro. Loki, don't even trip. You're about to get an upgrade, man. You're about to upgrade your hammer. Don't even worry, dude. Okay, the hammer's bouncing away. Swell. Eek. Shh. Yo, so his hammer is a freaking squirrel? Ragnir is a squirrel, dude. How many times did I mention in Wano there is a teapot that consumed a raccoon devil fruit? So now there's a hammer made out of metal, just like the teapot. This metal, this hammer, ate a squirrel devil fruit. So basically, the teapot of Wano foreshadowed. Let me Google it. Teapot Wano raccoon. Runbuku. You guys remember this? Bunbuku is a teapot owned by Hitetsu that was given life by eating the Inu no Mi model Tanuki. You guys see this? This is a teapot. It's not a Tanuki. It's a teapot. And the teapot ate a raccoon fruit, raccoon dog. You see that? Bunbuku is a teapot that was given life. So now when we think about Ragnir, okay, so it's probably that Ragnir ate a devil fruit. And this was the very obvious, simple, basic argumentation I used along with, I'm sure, other people. And yeah, this is true. Japan has a concept of everything having a soul. I don't know too much about their philosophy behind that, because I think, like, if you look at say like Aristotelian logic, Aristotelian philosophy, stuff like that, I think like how they would articulate the soul, maybe it would be different. It would be different than Japanese philosophy. So I'm curious to see how Japanese people articulate it. But this concept of everything having a soul, I'm pretty sure it's like extremely prevalent in series like Kagurabaki. If you guys ever read Kagurabaki, they also believe that everything has a soul. Oh, it's Shinto. Okay. Yeah, I actually don't know much about it. National treasures: Zoa dress, Wano's Ryuma's sword, Marijo's evening straw hat, Fishman Island Tama tobacco box. Well, in Wano, they were saying that Hiyori was a national treasure. So I guess they're saying it's Ryuma's sword. Maybe they did say that. I probably forgot. But they definitely did say that Hiyori was a national treasure of Wano. That's a fact. I 100% remember that. But because see, then it might not even be a pattern. There might not be a pattern. Are national treasures typically swords? Are they people? Are they men? Are they women? Are they devil fruits? If you can't establish a pattern, it's harder to predict what the next instance would be. You know, if Wano, Fishman Island, Elbaf, whatever, if they have like random conclusions for national treasures, then it would be harder to predict what the Marijoa national treasure is, because you can't establish a pattern. And that's the whole crux of the conversation. Can we establish a pattern for the national treasures? I don't know. I actually don't even remember Zoe's national treasure being, I keep saying treasure. I don't even remember Zoe's national treasure being a dress. I literally don't even remember that being said at any point. It would be helpful, Will of Dreams, if you can find, everything you just listed being national treasures, find those in the manga. Let us know the chapter numbers of the official chapters. We should go look through it, because if we can establish a pattern, then that'd be great. But I don't know. Nami and Hiyori are a problem because they were called national treasures. Let's continue, chat. Be gone. How are we supposed to end this? Well, honestly, I've never fought one who has conquerors too. Soldiers, stop Harold. We can't allow him to get his hands on that devil fruit. Yo, you're disobeying Harold. You're disobeying Harold's good side. Oh wait, he's saying stop Harold. I for some reason I understood that as stop Loki. Wait, Harold's going for the fruit? I thought it was Loki going for the fruit. Okay, people are getting attacked. Harold has spears in his belly. Loki's in front of the treasure chest and it's open. The raccoon looks angry or something. Is that the fruit? The fruit's so tiny because this dude's a giant. Bro, the devil fruits, I actually never thought of it like that. A devil fruit is like a tiny little pill for a giant. I never thought about that. Because like for the majority of One Piece, giants are not eating devil fruits. Isn't Loki literally like one of the first few giants to have a devil fruit? But yeah, this devil fruit's like a tiny little pill in his hand. He's popping a pill. Okay, he's shaking. His fingers his nails are getting sharper. Looks like, I don't know, some spikes. Is that his hair or something? Roar! Dude, he immediately transforms. Squeak. Oh, the Ragnir's happy. The squirrel's happy. Okay. Some kind of sound. Okay, there's a battlefield. Did you eat it, Loki? Show me its legendary power. Okay, Harold's fighting. Harold's being attacked. Oh, Harold's being wrecked, dude. Oh, is that his shadow? What is that? It has horns. It's almost like a bull or something. Loki's in his normal human state. Huff, huff. I knew it, Loki. You have the blood of a conqueror flowing inside you. Dude, of course Oda's gonna not show us the fruit's form. Dude, Oda, you just have to drag everything on, don't you? Everything has to be dragged on all the time. Morley's like the first giant shown with a devil fruit. Yeah, he's one of the only few people. It's very, very few people. It's literally a Pokemon popping out of its Pokeball. Man, Oda, why aren't you showing us the monster form? Why do you have to delay everything, man? All we see is the shadow. Didn't the leakers try to make it seem like we could see his form? Bro, you could barely even decipher what it is. It's a shadow on a wall. Oh, wait, we can see the hand at the bottom, can't we? At the bottom of the panel of the shadow on the wall, you can see it looks like his fingers on Harold's head. I guess you could see his fingers, but anyways, it's a wall. It's a shadow on a wall, and then on top of that, there's smoke and snow in front of the wall coming from our perspective. The leakers made it seem like we would be able to see much. Huff, hey, if you've come back to your senses, then it won't last. Cough, don't drop your guard. Look around. I'm beyond redemption anyway. You were being controlled, weren't you? Not quite. It's more like that thing is influencing my thoughts. Yeah, it's a demon. That's what demons do. They influence you. Demons influence you to sin. Some people call it evil. I started to consider myself a god. You have what it takes to lead Elbaf well. Try to get along more with your brother, though. You're the worst. You know that? Having your own son take your life, what kind of a father does that? One last thing, I almost forgot. I wanted to thank you about Ida. What are you? Burning down Alcohol Village didn't make her better, but I was touched by how much you loved her. Wait, is the Tattoo bleeding? What's going on with the tattoo? It looks like it's bleeding or something. Chat, towards the end of the chapter, what's happening to the tattoo? Yo, God bless, Deontay. Hope you had a nice Christmas, bro. Hey, what's going on with the tattoo? It looks like it's bleeding or something. It's like the ink popping out or something. Thud. Hurry, it's taking over me again. I'll never forgive you for making me do all the dirty work here. I love you too. Okay, a big lightning bolt. Oh, look at this panel. Look at this panel. Loki swinging Ragnar, bro. Loki, my dear son. The only thing that really matters is securing Elbaf's future. Hey, great chapter. What a great chapter. The tattoo is surrounded by a lighter color. I felt like it was retreated. I felt like it retreated because Harold was feeling love. Ah, dude. So the ultimate power is love. Oh man. So all along, the strongest power is the power of love. Chat, my laptop's gonna die. So what do you think Loki's devil fruit is now? Bro, I wouldn't even want to make a guess because all we have is one panel of a shadow on a wall with wind and smoke everywhere. I mean, it looks like something with two horns and arms, like some kind of, I would say it's, what do you call something like a, what do you call something with like four legs? What do you call it? Four-legged animals. Quadrupedal. I feel like it's going to be some kind of like quadrupedal. Because I was thinking it was Nidhogg. Which, by the way, didn't the leakers also say that? Oh, the new chapter, the new leaks. Loki looks like Nidhogg. Bro, not really. You could barely even tell what he is. Bro, I'm telling you, all the leakers do is clout chase, bro. All they ever do is just like hype up things to the max so that they could get tons of likes, replies, reposts, all of that. Why? Because then they're going to earn ad revenue. They're going to make money off of it. So they're essentially just lying to make money. And they do this for years on end. Chat, what do you think his fruit is? For the longest time, I thought it was either Nidhogg or Jormungandr. I'm kind of torn between the two. But I don't know. Fenrir. Hey, that Fenrir theory. Maybe there's some hope to Fenrir. Is it Fenrir or Fenrir? I think it's Fenrir. Maybe it's Fenrir. Engagement bait. Exactly. They self-insert stuff all the time. Yeah, bro. All the time. All the time. A Western dragon. Fenrir would be dope. I think it's a mix of all three. So it's Nidhogg plus Jormungandr plus Fenrir all together. What even would that be? A dragon wolf snake? A snake, but like a wolf. A wolf snake. Wolf. Let me Google a wolf snake. Wait, is this an actual thing? A Lycodon. Hold on, chat. Let's look up a wolf. A wolf snake. Bro, if we pull up some furry stuff, I'm gonna be so pissed. Common wolf snake. No, I don't mean like a species of snake in real life. I mean like a wolf snake, like a literal half wolf, half snake kind of guy. Mythology. Bro, what the hell is this? A chimera? Is a chimera half wolf, half snake? I thought a chimera was like a spider thing. Oh no, the chimera is the multi-headed thing. Maybe, I mean, it's possible. But then it would be less of like a Fenrir Jormungandr Nidhogg. You'd better off just be calling it a chimera, right? I don't know if it'll be a chimera. In the shadow, which is the only thing we have to go off of, it looks like there's just one head. I guess there could be another head off to the side or behind or something, but I don't know. See, like that's a problem when you try to theory craft based off of obscure silhouettes. Invest on Usopp, bro. I would never. There's no reason to invest in Usopp. Come on, man. It's chapter 1170. What has Usopp done? What has Usopp done in Elbaf? They told me this was Usopp's arc. They told me this was Usopp's arc. It is 1170. What has Usopp done? You know, I called this from the jump. They are going to treat Usopp and Elbaf the same way they treated Zoro and Wano. I'm calling it, bro. Calling it. So get mad now. Cope now. We've already seen two squirrels, which are Minx, Musatobi, and Bao Huang. I'm surprised you even remember their names, dude. Musatobi, One Piece. Maybe they foreshadow something about Ragnar. Musatobi's a non-canon flying squirrel mink. Oh, he's not even canon either. Bro isn't even canon. Look at this guy, chat. What was the other one's name? Bao Huang. Wait. It's not even on the One Piece wiki. Bao Huang is a Shinichi of the Beast Pirates. Fandom answer. AI generated summaries. Oh, wait, is it this? Her? Is it this one? This is the squirrel? Mr. Wong Woki with the 2 hundo chat. 2 hundo. 2 hundo chat.
This guy brought a nuke into the building.
Woki. Mr. Wong Woki with the Christmas gift. Mr. Wong Woki with the New Year's gift. Thank you so much, brother. God bless your mighty soul. I believe Loki's fruit is the Nidhogg fruit. However, I want to present an alternative. For the alternative path, it requires Ragnar to be the one with lightning, not Loki. And Ragnar to be a squirrel that ate a Thor hammer fruit. So Loki himself is Fenrir ties to Ragnarok, and in myth is his son. Now, don't get me wrong. You are cooking in a sense, Smokey. I want to see the Ragnarok myth have its role, have its place in the One Piece narrative. The only thing that's a struggle for me is saying that there's a squirrel that ate a Thor hammer devil fruit. Would that be a paramecia? Like, what even would that be? That's the thing I struggle with. Because, and by the way, does your alternative path work if it's a sword that ate a squirrel fruit? Does that alternative path still work? It seems much more streamlined to me if the object ate a squirrel fruit rather than a squirrel having a Thor hammer fruit. Unironically, I think the former is more likely, just because of the existence of a Thor hammer devil fruit. Like that strikes me as something very weird. Plus, we were talking about this earlier. The Teapot and Wano consumed a raccoon fruit. Bunbuku. You see this? Bunbuku is a teapot owned by Hitetsu that was given life by eating the Inu Inu no Mi model Tanuki. I feel like Wano set up the situation of a object such as Ragnir eating a fruit rather than the other way around. God bless. Thank you so much, Smokey. Where you at, boy? God bless, Vincent. How's it going, brother? Jordan, God bless, brother. Life Bear, God bless, King. Ragnir has two abilities, summoning lightning and turning into a squirrel. If the squirrel is the fruit's ability, how can Ragnir summon lightning? Ragnir has two abilities, summoning lightning and turning into a squirrel. If the squirrel is the fruit's ability, how can Ragnir summon lightning? That's a good question. Let me look through the chapter again because I don't even remember the squirrel summoning and lightning in the first place. How do we not know that's not Loki? Can we be sure that the lightning is the squirrel and not Loki? Is there something I'm overlooking? How do we not know it's or how do we know it's not Loki's lightning? Wong Woki with the 20. Thank you so much, brother. God bless your soul, man. Thank you, King. So if the alternative path plays out, the Thor hammer fruit would be mythical Zoan. Thus, it would have its own will, and perhaps it simply chose a squirrel. A mythical Zoan. But it's a hammer, though. Like it's a piece of wood with iron on it. Wouldn't that be like a paramecia rather than a Zoan? Because when you think of a Zoan, right? A Zoan is a living being. But like a piece of wood and iron, like that's not a living being. You know, when you think about other things in the One Piece world that are paramecia, it's things that are not alive. Like what's an example of a paramecia? Like mochi. The mochi stuff, that is a paramecia. Mochi Mochi no Mi is a paramecia because it's not a living thing. So I feel like if anything, if there was a Thor fruit, it would probably be a paramecia. But anyways, I want more important than that. I wanted to ask Smokey, more important than my question. Could you have that could your alternative theory work? Even if you do assume that it was a fruit or that it was a hammer consuming the squirrel fruit, does your alternative path still work? Young Smokey with another 20. Thank you so much, brother. God bless, man. Yo, my laptop's going to die. Also, tell me why the Holy Knights remind me of Team Rocket. They keep blasting off again. That's funny. We're blasting off again. Loki had sea stone chains when he hit the tree with the hammer. It was the hammer's ability. Could Loki not be strong enough to have Conqueror's Haki even with sea stone on? You can't have any devil fruit abilities. Are you talking about black lightning or are you talking about regular lightning? I think the lightning is the combination of Loki being born with the eyes and him wielding the Ragnir. It's like Shirahoshi. The lightning is supposed to power on an ancient weapon. Wait, does Shirahoshi have lightning? What if the squirrel isn't inspired by the electric? I think he meant is. What if the squirrel is inspired by electric type squirrel Pokemon? Yeah, the squirrel. Okay, so basically Ragnar ate the Pikachu Devil Fruit. Oh no, I removed the sound. Yo, chat. Ragnar has the Pikachu Devil Fruit. You heard it here first. Don't act surprised when it comes true. Ragnar has the Pikachu Devil Fruit. Pachirisu. Nah, bro, it has the Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu. Trust me, it's gonna be from that line. Don't listen to Johan. It's not Pachirisu. You know why? Because Pachirisu is so mid. You could argue that this one is a squirrel, right? It's an electric squirrel. Pachirisu, LS squirrel. But it is such a mid mon that it's not even worth it. It's Pikachu, man. Which makes Loki Ash. Oh, by the way, guys, the reason I was not able to oh shoot, did I just okay. Chad, the reason I wasn't able to go live is because I had to go to bed. Okay, so first of all, the chapter drops when I was asleep again. And the only time that later that day, like after I woke up, the only time I was able to stream because of the time difference, I had to go to bed to wake up early this morning. So that's why this stream today is as late as it is. Literally, ever since I left Florida, the chapters have been on a new schedule that has ruined everything. Literally for the longest time, the chapters, the short summaries, the long summary, they would drop at a certain time every week, the same time every week. The moment I leave, literally within 3 days of me leaving, all of a sudden the schedule changes. If you guys were watching the streams way back in like April, May, June, July, as soon, literally the same week that I leave is the same week the schedule changes from since then till now. Pikachu's a rat / mouse, so Pachirisu is more accurate. Yeah, but Pachirisu is super mid. Also, he's not the mascot of Pokemon. All right, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm way too sleepy for this, bro. I feel like a migraine coming in, and actually, this morning I had a migraine. I think it's coming back. I feel like I'm just too tired, and I'm forcing myself to be awake, or I'm forcing myself to expend energy. The next time we have an open stream, I can explain my alternate path better. Hopefully, it's before Oda reveals. Yeah, God bless. Thank you so much, Smokey brother. I truly can't thank you enough. I was saying this a few days ago. I do want to have a open mic stream. I want to have a bingo card stream for the new year, because if, as a lot of you guys know, on January 1st of 2025, let me say that again. On January 1st of 2025, I had a bingo card, a One Piece 2025 bingo card posted on a Twitter, trying to see like what things were going to come true in One Piece by the end of 2025. I want to do the same thing for 2026. So we're going to have an open mic stream here in a few days. I will be going out of the country next week, chat. I'll be out of the country for a few days, but before then, we're going to try to have an open mic stream. We're going to do a bingo card stream where we us collectively, we come through and we just vote on the things we think are going to happen in One Piece in 2026. Things that are more on the wild side, not obvious. Like we're going to see Luffy. No, not stuff like that. Like bigger reveals that we think are actually possible. We're going to do like a 2026 bingo card. That way at the end of 2026, we could compare and see how many of those things actually came true. I'll talk about where I went once I come back. Stan, God bless, bro. King J, we need him there. Smokey, we need him there. Vincent, we need him there. I need all you guys there, chat, because once we have the stream, guys, once we do the bingo card, there's no going back. I want you all to show up. It'll probably be the next stream. My next stream, we'll do the bingo card. Get everyone to come to the stream, especially the open mic, and we'll figure out on the 2026 One Piece bingo card, what do we put on it? What do we think is going to happen in the One Piece story, in the One Piece narrative by the end of 2026? But chat, until then, we need to all get some rest. Thank you all for being here, chat. God bless you guys. It's just so sad with the time difference, man. Like every time I go live, I'm just sleepy. And I woke up. I don't want to complain and try to garner and farm sympathy or anything like that. But especially on Sundays, like today, woke up extremely early, chat. Very, very early. So, yeah, these things are hard. I wish the spoilers in the chapters would drop at the time that they normally did for the longest time. Like, I don't think you guys understand how irritating that is. Years on end, the spoilers in chapters were dropping at a certain time every week. It was always the same time. And then the moment I leave, I'm moving away, literally with that same week, the schedule changes. And it goes to the worst possible time. Like when the chapters release, when the spoilers release, it's literally like 3 a.m. for me. No, I'm not depressed. Do the stream midnight your time or our time? Midnight my time, I'm going to be dead tired, bro. I'm going to be tired by midnight. I wake up at like 9 a.m., dude. I'll wake up at like 8:30, 9 a.m. I'm too tired by midnight. But chat, listen, we're going to wrap this up here. God bless each and every one of you for being here. I'll let you guys know when the bingo stream, that sounds like a weird name to call it. We got to come up with something more interesting. I'll let you guys know when the next stream will be, the bingo card stream. We're going to do it before I leave. We'll do it before next week. Yeah, I hope to see you all there. I'll post about it on Discord, Instagram, Twitter. So if you guys follow my content, if you guys are in the Discord, follow my social media accounts, you guys will know ahead of time when the stream will be, any other thing we have going on, stuff like that. All right, chat. God bless each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. Have a beautiful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. Catch you guys very soon. Peace.